Think about hiring a brand new employee. You wouldn't just hand them a laptop on their very first day and then completely ignore them for the next 3 years, right? Of course not. You check in on them, see how they're doing, make sure they actually have the right access to do their job, and eventually, maybe help them transition out of that role. Well, managing a Microsoft 365 Copilot agent is exactly the same thing. The lifecycle of an agent doesn't just end the second it's approved and deployed. Actually, deployment is really just the starting line of a continuous management process, where you as the administrator have to monitor its performance, evaluate its effectiveness, and ensure it stays compliant. Let's dive right into this. To get you fully prepared for the AB 900 exam, we're covering 5 specific modules today: usage and performance, operational insights, the lifecycle framework, dashboards and RBAC, and troubleshooting common issues. Let's jump into Module 1. Section 1. Usage and performance. Think of this as tracking your new employee's success. Just like you'd track a new employee's success during their probationary period, an AI agent's performance really needs to be monitored so you aren't just wasting resources. We measure this using 3 technical Microsoft 365 metrics. First up is user adoption. If adoption is super low, that's usually a giant red flag signaling poor communication or maybe a core design flaw. Second, we have performance metrics. Look, if a finance agent takes 30 seconds to fetch basic ledger data, yeah, that's a performance failure and it completely disrupts workflows. And third, error tracking. This is what pinpoints broken back-end connections. For your AB 900 exam, definitely remember that these 3 metrics are your primary, absolute most important health indicators. Now, to actually monitor this usage, you're going to want to burn this exact click path into your memory for the exam. Ready? You start by signing in to the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. From that left navigation pane, you select Reports, and then Usage. Under the Reports section, you're going to click on Microsoft 365 Copilot, and then Copilot. Finally, you just click right on the Agents tab. From there, it's like a command center. You can choose a specific agent, apply filters, like date ranges, specific departments, or user groups, to analyze usage trends, and you can even export the whole shebang to Excel. Seriously, memorize that path. Moving right along to Section 2, Deep Operational Insights. Let's compare this to checking security badges. Imagine auditing a corporate employee's security badge, literally checking the logs of every single room they enter. Operational Insights do exactly this for AI, exposing where data flows and where your systemic risks are hiding. And that brings us to a massively important concept: overprivileged agents. In plain English, an overprivileged agent is basically an AI assistant that has the master keys to modify or delete files when its job means it only ever needs to look at them. If an agent has read and write access, but its actual business function only requires read-only permissions, you've got a major security vulnerability on your hands. Scaling back those permissions to read-only is an absolutely crucial step for administrators and, honestly, a huge focus area for your exam. This leads us right into cross-service dependencies. AI agents almost never work in a vacuum. Say you've got an HR agent that relies on both SharePoint and Power Automate. If SharePoint suddenly experiences an outage, well, that's going to bottleneck and impact the entire agent flow. Tracking these dependencies helps you map out exactly what backends your agents rely on. You're also going to use operational insights for trend analysis. This means tracking whether an agent's usage is growing steadily, dropping completely off a cliff, or maybe just peaking seasonally, like, a financial tool blowing up during tax season. So, how do we audit these dependencies and permissions? Here's your next highly testable process. In the Admin Center, you go to Reports, then Copilot, and you select Agents. From there, you just review the agent's usage reports. This is exactly how you audit active permissions and verify what we call data source alignment. So, for example, if you deploy Teams Support Agent, this report helps you figure out why it's heavily using Teams, but weirdly, rarely connecting to its intended SharePoint data source. It basically tells you if the agent is actually behaving the way it was designed to in the real world. Section 3, the Lifecycle Framework. Time to map out the employee career path. Let's think of the structured lifecycle framework as an employee's overall career path, from their day 1 onboarding to their eventual retirement. Here's how that technical transition maps out. It starts at creation, day 0, where developers are designing the agent while you're busy setting up the security guardrails. Next is approval and deployment. This is where the agent is vetted, officially published, and communicated to your users. Then comes the longest phase, maintenance. This is your day-to-day role. You're monitoring it, applying updates, and maintaining stability as the business changes. Finally, we reach block or removal.
Now, blocking just prevents any user from accessing the agent, which is great for immediately decluttering the environment. Removal, on the other hand, completely deletes the agent from your inventory.
Now, the crucial point here, and listen, this is a highly testable AB 900 best practice, is all about communication. Whenever you are moving an agent into that final retirement phase, you must, absolutely must, communicate your agent retirement plans to impacted users at least 30 days in advance. You can send this out via Teams or a standard email blast, but you also have to provide training documentation for whatever the new replacement tool is to ensure business continuity. Basically, never pull the rug out from under your users.
Okay, once that 30-day notice is up, here are the strict steps you take to execute the decommission. In the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, navigate to Copilot, then click Agents. Select your target agent to open up its detail pane, and then simply choose either Remove or Block. You get to define the scope, whether it's blocking it for absolutely everyone or just specific user groups. Then you confirm and hit Save. Remember, blocking protects users from relying on outdated tools instantly, while removal takes it out of your tenant's inventory completely, though it can always be reacquired from the store later if someone realizes they actually still need it.
Section 4. Dashboards and RBAC. Let's hand out those filing cabinet keys.
Think of role-based access control, or RBAC, like passing out different keys to a highly sensitive HR filing cabinet. Some people get a master key so they can reorganize all the files, while others just get a key that only lets them read what's already there. For the exam, you need to contrast these roles perfectly. On one side, we have administrative roles, like Global Admin or Teams Admin. These should really only be used for emergencies, and you must always adhere to the principle of least privileged security. On the other side, we have reader roles, like Reports Reader, Global Reader, or the Usage Summary Reports Reader. The absolute biggest takeaway here, reader roles do not expose specific user details. They give you the high-level operational insights without compromising personal user privacy. Depending on the role you're assigned, you'll need to know where to actually go to view this data. While standard Microsoft 365 usage sits right in the Admin Center, if you're looking for deep, nitty-gritty performance data specifically for Copilot Studio extensions, you have to follow this exact path. You start in the Power Platform Admin Center, select Copilot, then Copilot Studio, and you scroll down to Agents. This is the spot that reveals all those advanced metrics, things like average response times, escalation frequency, and abandonment rates. By the way, a really high abandonment rate, that usually screams that you need to redesign your conversational flows, because your users are literally getting frustrated, giving up, and walking away.
Finally, Section 5, Troubleshooting Common Issues. Let's figure out how to fix a broken assembly line. Imagine you're managing a super busy factory, and the main assembly line just suddenly stops dead. You have to perform rapid triage to figure out exactly where the jam is. When Copilot agents fail, you're going to triage issues into 3 main categories. Category 1 is connectivity problems. This happens when an agent randomly loses its connection to its back-end services, like SharePoint or Dynamics 365. Now, if a user reports this, your very first action as an administrator is always to check the external service health dashboards right in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. You absolutely have to rule out a wider Microsoft service outage before you start tearing into the agent itself to fix it.
The second triage category involves permission errors. This is when users submit tickets complaining that an agent can't access the specific data it's supposed to be pulling from. To fix this, admins have to jump in, verify, and update the access. The exact exam path for this fix is going to Settings, then Integrated Apps, selecting Copilot Agents, and then hitting Manage Permissions. 9 times out of 10, it's just a simple case of misconfigured access rights.
The third and final category is performance degradation. This shows up as incredibly slow, laggy responses. It's usually driven by heavy server loads, poor architectural design, or those back-end dependency bottlenecks we talked about. The solution here requires you to roll up your sleeves, audit your error logs, and monitor those dashboards, specifically hunting for massive usage spikes. If thousands of users suddenly hit a relatively simple agent all at exactly the same time, the whole system is going to throttle to protect itself.
Okay, let's lock all this in with a practical triage example that you will absolutely see on the AB 900 exam. Let's say a procurement agent completely fails every time a user attempts to pull purchase order data. Step 1, you check the Service Health dashboard for Dynamics 365. This rules out any external Microsoft outages. Step 2, you review the agent's specific permission set. You're making sure it actually has active read-level access to those purchase order tables. Step 3, examine the logs for failed API calls, usually checking to see if there's an expired authentication token. And Step 4, resolve the block by renewing those permissions or reconfiguring the backend connection.
If you can follow that logical sequence, you are perfectly positioned to manage literally any agent lifecycle issue. So, what broken process in your organization are you going to go fix first using these triage steps?